Welcome into Celtics Postgame Live, presented by your New England Ford dealers. Chris Forsberg, Amina Smith here with you, and the Celtics take a loss to the Blazers, 109-105, and this is the exact type of game, Chris, that makes you want to pull your hair out, because I thought they had this in the bag, and then the wheels fell off. What did you see when you watched this game?
Yeah, I'm out of words, and to watch them go without a field goal of the final 7 minutes, it's baffling, because for a stretch there late in the third quarter, it felt like they had found what works, and getting the kids out there and playing single big and moving the ball and Tatum attacking. And you look up with 7 minutes to go and you're thinking, all right, maybe Tatum's going to get a triple-double. They're going to win this going away, and it's going to feel good after struggling in through the first quarter. And then all of a sudden the offense, which is grinded to a halt too many times this season, does it again, and no field goals over that final stretch. And just, you could just feel it like slipping away. And you just had that haunting feeling that they were going to find a way to lose this game, and Nurkic making the big shot there at the end to tip it. And it's just like, when we watch this tape coming up, it's just infuriating how many little plays they could have made, or like little mistakes that lead to this result.
Let's take a look at when the times were good in this game and start with that third quarter when they went on a 21-6 run, and it was looking good, looking like the Celtics were in it. But actually, let's go to the fourth quarter where it really started to fall apart. And just like you mentioned, Forsberg, it looked like they might be able to finish this game, but then the Blazers, they really shot their way back into this one.
Celtics were up 11, 100-89. Felt like you were in a good position. All of a sudden, McCollum knocks down a couple shots, and it just felt like the Celtics went from playing really aggressive and attacking the basket to being a little bit timid out there, and like the Blazers just wouldn't wilt. And you got Simons going hard at the basket there, and this lead is just going to evaporate, and you felt like the Celtics just couldn't catch themselves. A nice look there inside. Nurkic was just a beast throughout this game. The Celtics continue to struggle with size around the basket. Sloppy turnover there, going the other way, and the big finish to tie the game at that point. And all of a sudden you're just like, well, how are they going to hold on? JB goes to the basket here, doesn't get the continuation, goes to the line and makes two. You get a lead briefly, but then right here, I don't know where Jaylen Brown was going.
What was happening on this play defensively? Because it didn't make sense when I watched it in real time.
You can see it here, like Rob gets switched on the McCollum. He's going to try to go. JB tries to come with the help defense, but leaves Robert Covington wide open in the corner. You can't leave a shooter wide open like that. Celtics survive because they get the foul on the other end. Tatum, who has been great, makes the free throws, but then comes back down this way. And here we go. Rob gets switched again on the perimeter, contests the shot. Romeo or Grant got to get that rebound. Nurkic gets it. It's quick going back up. Rob doesn't have time to get up there with the second contest. And now you go here. Final chance for to sort of to get this back. And, I don't like far be it for me to question Jason Tatum, but when you're 0 for 20 on three-point shots and you've made your entire night attacking the basket, it feels like he could have turned the corner there on Nurkic, and maybe the help would have come, and he would have had to give it up. Maybe he's kicked it back to JB. You see coming on the backside there. But he pulls up for the three, and it just doesn't go. And, it's just one of those things where, little things, and it all adds up. But, Scal, what happened the final 7 minutes?
I mean, I think you said it perfectly. They lost their aggressiveness offensively. I don't think they played a bad defensive game when the score was 100-89. But all we saw was Tatum. They got him against Nurkic. And it's not like Portland did anything differently. And I was really disappointed that the Celtics fell for the junk defenses of the Portland Trailblazers. They like a 2-3 zone, a 2-3 zone when you're Jason Tatum getting downhill, and I just don't understand why when it was 100-89, why they came out and they took their foot off the gas. And to me, I can show you a possession in which Tatum turns the corner and he bumps Nurkic off him and lays it up, and then I'll show you possessions later where it wasn't like he was ever thinking he was going to turn the corner. So I don't know. To me, it was like the worst loss of the season, based off of what I saw from the being in this building and being up 100-89 against a team that can't guard, and you don't get a field goal for 7 minutes. Like, that's got to be to me the most disappointing loss. And there's so many things you can unfold in this, but I just felt like the Celtics lost their aggressiveness.
And Scal, Tatum taking that three in the final minutes of the fourth, and I was telling Forsberg, I was like, why is he taking these shots when he know that he's not been making them all night long? Would you rather him seen him just go and drive to the basket? Would that have been the smarter play there, or did he take the right shot?
I mean, I think he tried to get downhill, but it goes back to, and so Amina, when you drive from the perimeter, right? If you drive and you're going to get your shoulders downhill, it all starts from the initial move. If you watch that play, he comes off, he bobbles the ball. At that point, Nurkic is going to stay one step ahead of him the whole way. So Tatum tried to turn the corner, and, he went with the step back because he felt like that was the best shot that he can get. But it all started when he came off the point of the screen. When he was coming off the point of the screen, shoulders to hip, getting into the body, inside out, attacking right, or inside out, overhand cross, attacking left, there was no stopping Jason Tatum. He bobbled it. I don't know if he took his foot off the gas or he just lost the ball, but for whatever reason, once you do that initially, you're not going to be able to correct that as you go along. I thought Nurkic did a good job of staying one step ahead of him, kind of protecting against turning the corner, and Covington pursuing against the crossover.
Scal, how does Ime catch the team in that instance? Is there something a coach can do when you feel like you've lost your aggressiveness, when you feel like you're not playing the way you did to get that lead, that he can do to get them and reel them back in?
You can only call timeout and tell them this is what we want to do. And a coach doesn't want to. If a game gets close, you don't want to start banging out a timeout. Portland didn't come down and 3-3-3, and all of a sudden we got a game. The Celtics were playing good defense. It was like they were slowly chipping away, and offensively, that's when they hit their drought. So I'm sure he was looking at him on the sideline, we need to get Nurkic in the action. And for whatever reason, give credit to Chauncey Billups for keeping Nurkic out of that action. But like I said this all broadcast. To me, the Portland Trailblazer defense was fake defense. It was we're going to make it seem like we're doing something, but we're really not. And, when Tatum put his shoulders down in an attack, he got to where he wanted to go. So ultimately, this falls on the players to say, I'm getting this guy in the action, and I'm getting downhill, and I'm making a play.
Scal, when you take a look at this loss, you called it the worst loss of the season, but I felt like the Celtics, they were in it for most of this game. Just what exactly was a turning point? Why would they, take their foot off of the gas knowing that they had full control down the stretch?
I don't know. I don't know when it was 189 why they came out and they looked like a completely different team. It was 7.5 minutes without a field goal in the NBA. 7.5 at home, Friday night. Not against the Golden State Warriors, #1 defense. Not against Utah Jazz with Rudy Gobert back there. The Portland Trailblazers. So when you add up all that stuff, Portland being on a road trip, they got 5 guys out. They just outplayed us in the fourth quarter in the last 7 minutes of the game at home. So that's why I kind of unfold this as the worst loss of the season.
Yeah, I kind of hate to say that, I didn't expect it, but I did.
We said it before the game.
Kind of expect it today. All right, thanks so much, Scal. Let's send it out to Abby Chin, who is Ime Udoka right now.
Ime, 7+ minutes without a field goal to close out this game. What broke down?
Yeah, execution a little bit. They got more aggressive, obviously, blitzed Jalen and Jason, mainly Jason, quite a few times, and weren't as sharp as we could have been, and then missed some wide open shots when we did get it to guys in the corners, a few that stand out there. But, I got to have us in a better position and get us the right shots that we need.
Feels like you've seen almost every possible situation already this season and had been doing better in these late game situations as of late. What is the message to your guys?
Do what we were doing well and grow and learn and build on that. That's why this is obviously disappointing, because we had turned the corner somewhat in our fourth quarter, hadn't had those type of droughts. And then, like I said, our execution wasn't as crisp as it needed to be against their aggressive defense late. How
do you compartmentalize this? How do you look ahead to Washington?
Flip the page quickly, playing against another team that's playing really well. Had our opportunities tonight and had one of these games against Washington. So, come ready to bounce back. Didn't feel like we played as well as we could have in the first half and let these guys hang around. And then even when we had the leads, some turnovers, some costly things, defensive mistakes, let them creep back in. So we got to turn the page and move on and learn.
Thank you.
Thank you.